week, but I want to talk about a few things that we brought up last week. And one of those things is it's a new segment here we call Star Wars Cringe. Ooh, that's so cringy. And this definitely falls into that category. We talked about the book Heir to the Jedi by Kevin Hearn. It was released, I think, around 2014. And in that book, there is reference to a song called Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts. I think we felt like it was a little too on the nose.
A little bit.
But I had fuzzy memories about this particular passage in the book, probably because I don't remember the book so well because I didn't finish it, because once I got the Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts, I chucked the book across the room and gave up. But
tapped out.
But the tickle of a memory had me go down the rabbit hole this week. And so I found myself reviewing the audiobook to Heir to the Jedi. And the background behind this is Luke. The whole book is told from Luke Skywalker's perspective. And it happens, I think it happens in between the period of time between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So Luke isn't really on board with all the revelations and things like that. He can barely use the Force. Throughout the book, he tries using the Force on a plate of noodles to see if he can make he goes, oh, look, I think I made that noodle wiggle. Man. Like, oh boy, this is some high action and adventure going on here in the pages of this book. But that's nothing compared to Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts.
My dad used to do this with fruit to impress girls. That's why he's doing it with noodles.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Right. He doesn't know. This is post A New Hope, Luke.
Yeah, so I think it's very important that we keep that in mind as we continue this exploration of one of the weirdest things ever to be printed in the pages of a Star Wars book. But the background on this is about 10 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Empire sent Nakari Kalene's mother to the spice mines of Kessel. Nakari Kalene is the companion of Luke's throughout this adventure, the Heir to the Jedi. I don't know, Jason, you gave a look like maybe something romantic's happening, but I don't recall.
I'm a hopeless romantic. I love romance in Star Wars, but no, right? Nothing?
Nothing. You're a hopeless romantic, and right now, romance in Star Wars is hopeless. We don't see it at all, as a matter of fact. It doesn't even exist anymore. There is no love in a galaxy far, far away. But so this Nakari Kalene, her mother got sent to the spice mines of Kessel for writing the song Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts. Oh. And so she explained
going on there.
Well, I think in this sample I pulled from the audiobook, I think you'll hear that it was more than censorship. I think it was a little something personal between the Empire and Nakari's mother. So it does me no good to explain this any further. Let's just go right to the audiobook, Heir to the Jedi by Kevin Hearn, narrated by Mark Thompson, and hear all about the song, Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts.
The Empire killed my mother over a song. What? My mother was a songwriter and vocalist. She sang backup harmonies for a band. Really? What band? Don't laugh, okay? The name wasn't her idea. They were called Hackode Traslip and the Tootle Fruits. The Tootle Fruits? Nakari sighed with a note of impatience. I know how ridiculous it sounds to tell people your mum was a tootle fruit. I don't even know what a tootle fruit is, okay?
Said not to laugh.
But anyway, she wrote a political song for the group, and they recorded it, and it became their biggest hit. Thing is, it got them all sent to the spice mines of Kessel. That's a pretty extreme reaction to a song on the Empire's part, though. What was it? Would I know it? Depends on your access to declared contraband. It was called Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts.
Hey, I do know that. Hilarious song. I didn't know the band had been punished for it, though.
Oh, it happened quickly.
She gazed down into her lap, her voice soft.
Mere days after its release. Lord Vader has no sense of humor.
Oh, man. He's even listening to the latest pop charts. I mean, how does this happen? Like, is Vader in his meditation chamber? He's just skimming the dial. He lands on this tune.
Right. And yeah,
I'm Casey Kasem. On with the countdown. Shooting like a Death Star laser blast up to number 1. It's Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts by Heiko Draziv and the Toodle Fruits. On the countdown, the Imperial countdown.
I don't know,
Unbelievable.
Man.
And then
what I think is crazy is that she's talking to Luke.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke goes, yeah, I know that song. It's hilarious. And like, I mean, come on. I almost expect now, like there's going to be a fan edit of the saber duel on board the Death Star 2, where Luke says, you'll never turn me to the dark side with your many prosthetic parts. Remember that song?
On with the countdown.
I just wouldn't imagine after Vader cut, in Luke's mind, cut Ben Kenobi down, that Luke would be down with like just riffing on it. Yeah, it's funny, man. I like making fun of that guy. One time I was on the Death Star.
I always like to think of my Darth Vader as someone who worked in the shadows, and your typical like population of the galaxy, they didn't know who he was or he even existed, I don't think they put him on TV and stuff. I don't think he was a public figure or anything like that.
No, I do think that, and this is all in my own headcanon, but I do think with sort of the evidence that we have of Darth Vader and how he's treated and, just sort of how he fits in to the Imperials around him in A New Hope, that up to that point, I think he has been in the shadows. I think he has been sort of the Emperor's kind of enforcer, secret weapon. People don't really know what to make of him. You've got some of these stooges just outright threatening him and trying to push him around. And he, obviously he fights back. He chokes out Mahdi. But I think it's not until after the Death Star is destroyed that I think Vader becomes really the official number 2 in the Empire and becomes more of a face for the military. That's in my own headcanon. I got nothing to base that on other than just seems like his profile raises between A New Hope and Empire. No one's messing around with him in Empire. Everyone's scared to death of him. They're not in A New Hope.
Yeah, his reputation definitely does precede him when he's dealing with Imperial officers, at least.
Yeah.
So, but that's the song,
Joe Public. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't like to think he has any reputation with Joe Public.
None whatsoever. So that's the song Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts. I don't know. I mean, we have some musically oriented, talented people listening to this show, and there are no lyrics that exist for the song. So, it's an open canvas, wide open, blank canvas for you.
I think author Kevin Hearn really took the lazy way out by not writing some lyrics. Come on, Kevin. You're going to come up with something that crazy. You commit to the bit, Kevin. I want lyrics.
The whole book is a real stinker. So it doesn't surprise me that like the only thing we're even talking about when it comes to that book from 10 years ago is the silly reference to what was it, a parody song? Luke said it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, it's like on the Dr. Demento show. Hey, it's the Dr. Demento show. It's time for Vader's prosthetic parts.
Right.
Yeah. It's just one of those weird moments. So that's Star Wars cringe for you.